had no information on holidays or days off, which was a little bit of a red flag for me. Hey guys, and welcome back to the floor of my bedroom. My name is Amber and I am a student slash English teacher here in Kyoto, Japan. Originally from, you guessed it, New York. When I first came to Japan, I came as an English teacher working for an eikaiwa company called Aeon. So I came on a 3-year working visa. So I applied to 3 companies and I got 3 job offers. So I feel like I might have some useful information that I can share with you guys. There are a handful of companies that hire English teachers from overseas. It can be daunting trying to pick which one is the best match for you. I know I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know what salaries were good, what salaries were not good. So yeah, let's compare salaries, pros, cons, and benefits between the top 7 English teaching companies in Japan. Here are the companies that I am comparing today. We got Jet, we got Aeon, Nova, Interact, Gaba, and Altia. I only have first-hand experience working for one of these companies. I made a whole other video on that experience. I'll link that down below for anyone who's interested. All of the company websites where I got this information will be linked down below so you can check it out for yourself. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with salary. I'm just gonna say it in yen and then I'll write it in USD like here or here. The salaries, when you look at them in USD, they do look kind of low, and they are low. You're not going to be rich being an English teacher, but the cost of living in Japan, I'm from New York, so take this with a grain of salt. I find it much cheaper to live in Japan. Even though my salary was lower working for a Japanese company than it was working for an American company, it actually felt exactly the same because of how different the cost of living is. Hydration. Let's first look at the salary. I'm just going to list them all out. Jet comes in first place with a salary of 3.36 million yen per year. Next up is the one I worked for, Aeon, which is 3.3 million yen per year. After that is Altia with 2.88 million yen per year. And next is Interact with 2.55 million yen per year. Sorry, I'm looking this way. I'm like reading. I can't memorize data. My memory is not that good. The next 2 companies are a little different. So they pay you by lesson taught. Put my glasses on so I can read this data better. I am an old lady. So Nova pays 1,200 yen to 2,200 yen per lesson, and Gaba pays 1,500 yen per 40-minute lesson. So with these companies, you're not getting paid a fixed salary, you're getting paid per lesson taught. It seems that with Nova, you'll have a fixed schedule, a fixed number of classes that you're teaching each week, so you can anticipate your paycheck. But with Gaba, it's a little different. It seems that it's not guaranteed how much you're going to make. With Nova and Gaba, it seems a little I don't know, I'd be a little nervous signing up for that kind of contract. The next thing I wanted to look at is vacation, time off, holiday, whatever you call it. With Jet, you get 20 days of PTO, paid time off. In addition to that, you get all of the national holidays off. In second place is Altia. You get almost the entire month of August off for summer vacation, including all of the national holidays. I don't know if you get PTO in addition to that, it didn't say, but you do get a significant amount of time off of work that you can use to travel and explore Japan. That's probably also why this salary is a little lower than with Jet or Aeon, but yeah, that whole month of August off is a good sell for me personally. Depends what your incentives are when you're coming to work here. The next best one is Aeon. It's okay. You get 3 weeks of fixed vacation time. So you cannot choose this vacation time. You get 1 week in the spring, 1 week in the summer, and 1 week in the winter. You do get national holidays off, but those are just like 1 or 2 days here and there throughout the year. You get 5 days of PTO, which is incredibly small compared to the 20 days of PTO that you get for Jet. Nova had no information on holidays or days off, which was a little bit of a red flag for me. Interact also had no information. They said they had paid leave. I guess that means they do have PTO, but how much? We don't know. And on Gaba's website, yeah, so it seems you can make your own schedule and your own availability. If you want to travel a lot in Japan, Gaba might be a good company for you to consider. You can take time off whenever you need it, but it's not paid time off, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Again, all this information is coming from their website. You have personal experience working for these companies and you had a different experience than what I'm talking about, let us know in the comments. It can be helpful for someone who is trying to decide on which company to apply for. Okay, so yeah, I think those are the two main things that everyone wants to know about when applying to a company in Japan. The next big one, I think, is housing, whether or not housing is provided. Some people don't like to have housing with their company, which I totally understand, because then you are kind of bound to your company by your apartment. I guess you could always just like quit and find a new apartment, but moving is really hard and really expensive in Japan. I'll get into that in another video. But yeah, I personally like the idea of housing being provided when you're moving to Japan from overseas, because finding your own apartment in a country that you don't live in is difficult, one. And two, in Japan specifically, a lot of apartments, I would say most apartments, do not allow foreigners. It just, the owners don't allow it at all. I know, but that's the reality here. And so having your company find your apartment, I found it as a huge weight off of my shoulders. So yes, JET provides housing and it is extremely subsidized. I know someone working on JET right now and they pay $5,000 a month in rent for their apartment. Props to JET. Altia also provides housing. It does not say anything about subsidizing the housing, but I think they take care of the initial cost, like the key money, I think. You don't have to take housing with Altia. You have the choice to get your own apartment if you want. So that's pretty cool. Aeon provides the housing and you have no choice. Like if you want to work for Aeon, you have to live in their apartment. So that's something to keep in mind if you don't want to be bound to your job by your apartment. The housing is subsidized, so if your housing goes over 50,000 yen per month, Aeon will cover the rest. So I think my housing was subsidized with Aeon. I only paid like 40,000 yen a month. And then Nova provides housing and it is not subsidized at all, but you do have a choice. You don't have to take their housing. You can get your own housing. And then Interact provides housing, but also not subsidized by the company. You are responsible for all of the cost of that apartment. And then Gaba just doesn't provide housing at all, so you will have to find that on your own. Next one. So here's a perk that only one of the companies has. Altia provides cars. They have company cars and it's really awesome. You can decide if you just want to use the car for work and it'll be cheaper, or if you also want to use it on your own, you can pay a little more for that. And I think that's great, because worrying about how to get a car when you're in a new country, and also dealing with getting rid of the car when you want to go back to your own home country can be just a huge burden. So I love that Altia provides cars. Props to Altia for that. There's two more perks that I want to look at. One is Japanese lessons. Aeon has no Japanese lessons. JET has no Japanese lessons. Altia, nothing. Nova provides Japanese lessons at any level, which I think is so cool, because that would be great for me personally. Japanese lessons are expensive and I'm in Japan to learn Japanese. It really affects your daily life here, being able to communicate and read things and just everything. Interact also provides lessons, but only for beginner level, so it's for N5. Yeah, that's cool. Gaba doesn't provide any Japanese lessons. The last perk that I wanted to look at was flights. So JET provides flights to and from Japan. Altia provides flights to and I think from Japan. I'm not sure about the from. Aeon provides flights to Japan, but not home to Japan. They do give you a bonus when you complete your contract, and you can put that bonus toward your flight, I guess. Aeon also only provides up to 700 yen for your flight, so they don't pay for the whole thing, which was kind of a burden for me because I came from New York City, so my flight was like $1,400. Nova, Interact, and Gaba do not provide flights at all to or from Japan. So yeah, it's a big chunk of money to keep in mind. Flights can be expensive depending on which country you come from. Oh, before I forget, one of the biggest perks of Aeon, and I'm not sure about Nova, but I think Nova too, is there are locations all over the country and they give you a say in where you are placed. So a lot of the ALT companies like JET, Altia, and Interact, they kind of just place you wherever you're needed. You don't really have a say. They might ask you like where you prefer, but usually people don't get placed where they prefer. Aeon really takes into consideration where you want to live. So they gave me a few options before I chose Kochi, which was a perfect match for me, and I was so happy with it. They asked you what kind of weather you like, what kind of experiences you're looking for, and they really tried to match you with the best location for you. So yeah, I think that's a huge plus of Aeon, and that's one of the reasons why I chose them. That's pretty much it. Something else I wanted to add is don't worry too much if you don't get the company that you want, because once you're here and you have that experience and you have that visa, you can pivot, you can apply to another company the next year after your contract's over, and you can work for a different company. It's really just a good foot in the door into Japan, into teaching. Do make sure that you want to teach before committing to a job like this, because you are being trusted with the education of students. I did make another free Excel sheet to compare these companies. It has some of the data already in there. It's linked down below. And yeah, that's really it. I'm gonna take off my glasses now. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful to you in some way. Please like and subscribe for more Japan things, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.